bachol. Yad Elohim, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Elohim bachol, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Elohim bachol, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Elohim bachol, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Elohim bachol, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Elohim bachol, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Elohim bachol, Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. Yad Elohim bachol. The divine presence, the hand of the divine is manifest, is present in every aspect of the universe. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
185. I enter this sacred space to voice the longings of my heart in prayer. In sacred company, I offer my love to the Holy One together. I devote myself this morning to psalm and song, study and prayer. May my heart be lifted, may my thoughts be deepened, and may my soul like the eagle soar. 186, finding your pronoun modeh. Moda, Modim, Ani. We begin every morning with gratitude that my nishama, nishmati, was returned to me in mercy. At the bottom, I lift up my eyes to the mountains, making my connection with the sacred. your third eye, your inner awareness, to do a body scan, noticing how you are showing up this morning with a sense of gratitude for our physicality. Chalulim, chalulim, nikavim, nikavim. Together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokma, uvaravo nikavim, nikavim, chalulim, chalulim. Galui v'yadua lifnei chisei chevodecha, שאם יפתח אחד מהם או יסתם אחד מהם, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך.
ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות.
196, breathe in nishima, touch nishama.
אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא, אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא, אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי Elohai neshama shenatata bi. Baruch atah Adonai, asher beyado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol besari.
198. We move through the miracles of the morning, Shabbos, a new opportunity of the sun rising and the discernment that comes with the new day and with centering ourselves in gratitude. Find your own pace, find your gratitude.
Baruch
atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasech v'bina, lehavchin bein yom u'bein laila, for awakening. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Pokeach ivri, for vision. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim, for the ability to stretch. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kifufi, for rising to the new day 200. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim, for firm earth to stand upon. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver, for the gift of motion. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumi, for clothing the body. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten la'ya'ef koach, for renewed enthusiasm for life. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir sheina me'enai, utnuma me'afapai, for reawakening. 202. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who made me in the image of Hashekhinah. Amen. Praise to you, Adonai Hatzor, sovereign of the universe, who has made me free. Amen. Praise to you, Adonai Hashekhinah, sovereign of the universe, who has made me a Jew. Amen. Praise to you, Adonai Hatzor, sovereign of the universe, who girds Israel with strength. Amen. Praise to you, Adonai Hashalom, sovereign of the universe, who crowns Israel with splendor. 204. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Amen. 207, paragraph 3. Elu Devarim. We need Jewish people to become Jewishly inspired and informed leadership, not only rabbinical, but also lay. We need Jews more conversant with the thought and teachings of Judaism, to whom Judaism is no cold, remote theology, and Hebrew learning a matter of mystical ignorance, and to whom Jewish culture is no proxied culture. We need a reassertion of faith and a reawakening of interest in a cultural heritage that is all too rapidly being relegated to the exclusive possession of graduates of rabbinical seminaries. We desperately need such lay leaders today with vision and with fortitude. 213. Hareini mizamen et pi lehodot ulehalel uleshabeach et bor'i. Together with this do I prepare myself to thank, praise, and glorify my Creator.
Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam, Batishvachot. 218. Finding Hallel in every aspect of the universe. That is my Shabbos yearning, my Shabbos meditation. Hallelujah, 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 bekacho, hallelujah, berkiahuzo. Hallelujah, bivurota. Hallelujah, kirokudlo. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 24.
Yitkada v'yitkadash shemei Rabba Be'alma divra chirute V'yamlich malchute B'chayechonu yomechon Uv'chayetecho beit Yisrael Ba'agala Uvizman kariv v'imru
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevorach
le'olam ul'amei omaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shmei t'kudesha berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran ve'alma v'imru.
Amen. Rise and open the door that is shut, opening with and for one another our entrance into formal prayer 226. This past week, a member of our congregation shared pictures of 3 bobcats who were moving around in his backyard here in Kingston. I marvel at the beauty, the resilience, the magnificence, and the mysterious of the natural world. Our prayers call me to notice my responsibility for not only amazement, but stewardship and care. 228. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, Oseh shalom uvarei et hakol. Hameir la'aretz v'ledarim aleha berachamim. Uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom. Tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam b'chokhma asita. Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'orei or she'asita yefa'arucha Selah.
Or chadash Al Zion Ta'ir Or Chadash. Al Zion Ta'ir Or Chadash. Al Zion Ta'ir Or Chadash. Al Zion Ta'ir V'nizke Chulanu Mehera Leoro. V'nizke Chulanu Mehera Leoro. Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Yotzir HaMeorot.
230. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion, on account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah.
V'ha'erinenu b'toratecha v'dahavek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levavinu v'ahava u'yir'at et shemecha v'lo nevosh v'lo nikolim v'lo nikashel le'olam va'ed ki v'shem kodecha hagadol v'hanora b'atachnu nagila v'nismicha nagila v'nismicha v'yeshuatecha V'havienu l'shalom me'arba knafot ha'aret v'tolichenu komamiyut le'artzenu ki el po'el yeshuot ata uvanu v'acharta v'kiravtanu l'shimcha gadol sela be'emet lodot lecha u'liyachetcha be'ahava Baruch atah Adonai abocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava 232. As you are able, we stand together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed 234 Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha b'derech Uv'sholchmecha, uv'kumecha, uv'shartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha.
236. Adonai said to Moses as follows. Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves tzitzit on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the tzitzit at each corner. That shall be your tzitzit. Look at it and recall all of the commandments of Adonai and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. Leman tizkeru ba'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihyot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. 239, we pray responsively, paragraph. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word, Bamidbar. Emet, that 10 strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established now and forevermore. Like Miriam, Moses, and all of Israel, we sing out and rejoice. 240.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot o sefer, nora tehilot o sefer, shira chadasha shibchu ge'ulim shemcha al sfat hayam, yachad kulam hodu ve'imlechu ve'ameru Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Sur Yisrael, kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, ufteichenhu mecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Gohaleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo, Kadosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
So the Rambam teaches kavanah, intention, is the clearing of the mind of all private and selfish thoughts. Imagine that. Prayer. Going into the kavanah of prayer is clearing your mind of all of the busyness of private, selfish, self-indulged thoughts, and going beyond to encounter, to engage what is there. 242.
ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
246.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
247, we pray responsively. You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the doorframe, I begin to enter into your glory.
You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you.
In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder.
Sit with me, eternal teacher, encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled.
Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Baruch atah Adonai, notea betochenu, chayei olam. 248, settling into, basking into, being amazed by the Kadosh.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר, שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור. לדור ודור. לדור ודור. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך.
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש קדושתך נקדיש
ושבחך
אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם לעולם ועד
ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש יאי לי 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 יאי לי 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 יאי לי 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 לי
Page 250.
ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת מקדשי שבי שבת כולם ישמחו ויתענגו בשבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת והשביעי רצית בו וקידשו שבת חמדת ימים עוד לא קראת שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת זכר למעשי בראשית שבת זכר למעשי בראשית שבת לי 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 לי
Right hand forward, left hand back. Start with your right foot, and here we go.
Help.
Eretz Atik, Eretz Atik.
Okay.
Open up your circle, Karen and Dave. There we go. We don't have to be on each other. We got a whole circle here. Here we go. Face the middle. I'm ready to
in the new year to bring a new dance. I want to make sure you guys have this. So be behind me. We're going to line dance it so that you guys behind me, look behind me, so that you can follow me. You don't have to touch me. I mean, you can touch me anytime you want. But so here we're starting with our right foot. Everyone, look at you. You want to be behind me so you can see. That's what I'm trying to do. Back and front. Bring your feet together. Start with your left. Together, step right, left, cross, swivel, lean to your left. Before you sit, just do one last thing with me. Ready? So we did this, and this. I rock. I bring my feet together. Now I bring my left, back, and forward, and I rock. Now watch this, you guys. This is so simple. It's tricky. Go right, left, cross, swivel, and put your left foot forward, and then bring your feet forward. Let's do that one more time. Left, cross. That's it. You got it.
Beautiful.
For anyone who is able, we remain standing. We hold our place of prayer. For those who are beholding, for those who are dancing, for those who continue to behold and dance, there is a place for communal unfolding in prayer. There is a place where only you can give voice to your prayer. The traditional tefillah continues through 260. Find your prayer. And when you've completed your prayer for this Shabbos morning, work your way back to your seats. Inviting the prayer to meet us at this last day of 2022, page 257, responsively. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet, Earth, together, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose, Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov shimcha ulecha na'ed lehoda. 258. Sim shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Barucheinu yotzreinu kulanu ke'echad be'or panecha. Ya la 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 sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Ki ve'or panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu
Torah Chaim ve'ahavat chesed u'tzedaka uvracha ve'rachamim ve'chaim ve'shalom. Ya la 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 sim, sim, sim shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim, sim, sim shalom tova uvracha. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. יאללה לה לה שים, שים, שים שלום, שים שלום טובה וברכה. שים, שים, sim shalom tova uvracha. Baruch atah Adonai hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. 259, we oughtn't pray for what we've never known. And humanity has never known. Unbroken peace, unmixed blessings. No, it's better to pray for pity, for indignation, discontent, the will to see and touch, the power to do good and make new. Baruch atah Adonai hamevarech et amo Yisrael.
Amen.
Bashalom. 260. Oseh shalom bimromav, the one who creates peace in the heavens. Inspire us to create peace here on earth.
Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Uyaseh shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael amen.
362.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Avrachamim heitiv ertzonecha et Zion, kivnei chomo Yerushalayim, ki Barachnu, Melech Elam Venisa, Adon Olami.
May they be walls of trust and tolerance, inclusivity, and peace. 364.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim.
366.
Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael bekedushato.
We pray responsively.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Adlu l'Adonai iti,
Unerom ema Shemo yachdav.
Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'chahod. Ki ho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki ho b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai amaham lacha, ve'hamid na'aseh lechol erosh. David
Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam.
David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam. David
Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam.
David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai v'kayam.
Oh, as you're grabbing your red Humashim, because this is the chapel, we're in red. We are reading this morning from Vayigash, we're starting right from the beginning on page 281. Rabbi Yael is going to read, and I'd like to call Carolyn up for the first Aliyah. Nala Almod, Ariel, Mibeit Al Vasilvia, Ha'aliyah Harishona.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Ata Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai notin
HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vayigash elav Yehuda vayomer bi Adoni yidaberna avdecha davar beoznei Adoni ve'al yichar apcha be'avdecha ki chamocha kifaro Adonai sha'al et avadav lemor hayesh lachem av or ach vanomer al Adoni yesh lanu av zaken vayeled zkenim katan ve'achiv met vayivater le'amo ule'aviv ahevo.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yes, Sher Kochech, and you come and you stand with me on this side. Thank you.
For the second Aliyah, I'd like to call Dave Rosenthal, who's also going to be reading, continuing right where we left off, starting on line 21. Nala Amod David mi Beit Shlomo Mary Ha'aliyah Ha'Shlishit.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarak.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vatomer el avadecha ori duhu elai vasi ma ani alav vanomer el Adoni lo yelo
Lo yuchal.
Lo yuchal hana'ar la'azov et aviv, va'azav et aviv, v'mehed, v'atomer el adecha, im lo yered, achichem, akatom, et kem, lo tasif, Fun le'od panai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you, Carolyn. You stay with us.
Mishberach.
So now, as we speak the Mishaberach, I'm going to bring in the names of loved ones of the congregation and leave you the space to add your own loved ones, friends, family, members of the congregation who are in need of healing at this time.
משברך אבותינו ואמותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך את החולים.
Pada Belly, Mark Aldrich, Amelia Byers, Audrey Cohn, Irene Dillon, Angela DeMare, David Fay, Phyllis Fillmore, Ellie Edovitz, Lou Klein, Mary Jane Klein, Ken Lyjak, Karen Martinez, Susan Otsenis, Merle Perlmutter, Jill Persley Gerhard, Dorian Pinsky, Milton Rosen, Claude Schleuder, Kana Skolnick, Jennifer Sumber, Bev Ushko, Ben Wilder, Lauren Petties.
Michael Sanchez.
My friend, David.
Oh, I'm sorry. Celia Eisenstadt, David Eisenstadt, Moore Doyle.
Looking for my yard. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah.
Anyone that you want to add for healing?
Nice job.
הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם להחלימם ורבותם ולהחזיקם וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, השתה בעגלה וזמן קריב ונאמר
For the final Aliyah, I am going to continue reading, starting on line 24, right where we left off. Karen, can you come up for the third Aliyah, please? Nala Amod, Chana Mibeit Benyamin V'Aliyah, Ha'aliyah HaShlishit.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai.
Baruch
Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bacha banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Toroto. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Vayehi ki alinu el avdecha avi v'neged lo et divrei Adoni. Vayomer avinu shuvu shivru lanu ma'at ochel v'namar lo nuchal laredet im yesh achinu hakaton itanu v'yatradnu ki lo nuchal lirot pnei ha'ish v'achinu hakaton enenu itanu.
Beautiful. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Just put it down.
I just need the blessings.
Okay, I got him here.
Oh, okay.
So Hagba and Glila.
Sorry. As the rabbi lifts, Vicky, can you come up and tie for us, please? Please rise as we lift the Torah. Nala Amod, Hagba v'Glila.
HaTorah asher sam Moshe b'fnei b'nei Yisrael api Adonai b'yad Moshe.
Hands up onto the top.
Torah, Torah, Torah,
gotta grab
Torah, Torah, Torah,
No,
Torah,
Vicky.
Tziva lanu Moshe, Torah, 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 Torah.
Let go.
Tziva lanu Moshe, Torah, 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 Torah. Tziva lanu Moshe, Torah, 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 Torah. Tziva lanu Moshe. Tzi mitzion tehi tehi Torah udvar Adonai Yerushalayim ki mitzion tehi tehi Torah udvar Adonai Yerushalayim ki mitzion tehi tehi Torah udvar Adonai Yerushalayim ki mitzion tehi Torah udvar Adonai Yerushalayim. Yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai yai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai yai yai lai lai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai yai yai lai yai lai lai.
Okay, the Haftorah for this portion is Ezekiel. And you can find it in the Red Book on page 358. I am going to be reading lines 24 to 28, so it's at the end. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bakar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah b'divreihem ha'emurim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'Moshe avdo Israel amo u'b'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
V'avdi David melech alehem v'roeh et echad yihel chulam u'mishpatai yelechu Uchukotai ishmeru va'asu al otam v'yashvu al haaretz asher natati lavdi Yaakov asher yashvu avotechem v'yashvu aleha Uvnei ad olam v'David avdi nasi lahem le'olam v'charati lahem brit shalom brit olam ye'otam untatim v'hir beiti otam v'natati et mikdashi b'tocham la'olam v'haya mishkani alehem v'hayiti lahem Elohim v'hema yuli la'am v'yadu hagoyim ki ani Adonai Mikadesh et Yisrael biyod mikdashi b'tocham la'olam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol ha'olamim tzadik b'kol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'hosei ha'medaber mekayem shekol dvarav emet v'tzedek al haTorah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanvi'im v'yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך, מבורכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך וברוך שמו,
מקדש השבת.
Amen. Please rise. Thank you. Yesher Kochech. Thank you, El. We love listening to you read, and may it be an amazing 2023 and an amazing Nisiyah for you. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai ki nizgav shemo levado.
374. Odo haaretz v'shamayim v'yarem kerem le'amo tziyela lechol chasidav livnei Yisrael am kirovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Lekach tov natati lachem torati al tazovu.
It's Chaim hi lemachazikima v'tomchecha meushar derachecha darchei noam nechol netivotecha shalom hashiveinu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
So it's so nice to be home. It is so nice to be sharing Shabbat with you. And yeah, I am really excited to study this parasha with you so that you can help me to understand the parts I struggle with. The portion is called Vayigash, and it begins at chapter 44, verse 18. And why don't you just say out loud for everyone what page you are, a reminder once you're there in that red book, 44:18.
280.
280 of the red Torah. Vayigash literally means lageshet. Lageshet means to approach, to approach. So this is the approach of the brothers to Joseph. And up until now, we know from our encounter where the brothers met Joseph, and what can you tell me about their encounter last week when you encountered together with rabbinic intern Jack and our chazanit Alex? What strikes you about their approach with one or their being together last week? Dave.
I would say they were all testing each other, primarily Joseph testing his brothers.
You would say that they were all testing each other. I'm going to repeat. It sounds very funny when I do this, but I'm repeating so that anyone who is with us virtually can hear your amazing comments. They were testing each other. That's what you would say. What else might you guys say? What else is your experience of last week? Your observations of last week? It went better than who? He? Joseph?
Yeah.
It went better than Joseph thought in what way?
Well, he was nervous that he was going to be, that they still hated him, and
That's what, okay. He was still nervous. He thought maybe he might be attacked. Interesting, Lauren, interesting. That's not my take on it, but I find that really interesting. I am actually, the part that's been sitting with me all week, from last week when I wasn't with you guys, maybe it's true it went better than he thought. Maybe it's true that he thought maybe they would still hold a grudge. But actually what strikes me is they don't know that he's him. They don't know that it's Joseph. So maybe it went better than he expected, but he's disguised. He is the viceroy. He is renamed by Pharaoh. He has a new name. He has new clothes. He has a new place. They don't even, to our knowledge, they don't even actually recognize him.
Right, but he has that knowledge.
He has a knowledge, but that it went better for him, that a bunch of guys who were asking for his help didn't attack him.
Doesn't he recognize them?
He recognizes them, but do they recognize him? He absolutely recognizes them. Agreed.
Does he know he's disguised enough? Does he know that?
So you don't understand what I'm asking you?
No, I do understand what you're asking. I'm thinking that he's jumped ahead and that
He's thawing out. He's like, oh, these are my brothers. This is not so bad. Maybe what he's saying is, I'm not angry or I'm not upset, but the fact that they didn't litapel alehem alav, that they didn't jump on him, they wouldn't jump on him because he's like the big viceroy.
right.
Plus, they don't know it's Joseph. But
I'm sure has all these head games.
this I believe, that there's so much going on in his head. Like, you're anticipating a really hard meeting, and like, it's worse inside you. You know the story that I tell about the guy who's driving on a desert road, and he's nowhere. He gets a flat tire. He realizes he doesn't have a jack. He's lost, except then he sees in the distance a light. And he's like, yay, there's somebody. And he starts approaching. He has to walk. It's a couple of miles. He approaches the one house, and all the way he's like saying to himself, what if they're mean? What if they're angry? What if they don't have a jack? What if they don't want to share a jack with me? What if they're terrible people? What if they're racist? And he finally reaches the door, and he knocks on the door, and someone opens the door and says hello, and he slams the door back in their face and says, I don't want your jack anyway. Because what I'm referring to is all of that stuff that happens to us in us before a difficult encounter. Yes, he recognizes them. I'm pretty confident, or at least my struggles are, they don't recognize him. And I've been sitting with this a lot because I am trying to understand, what is the text telling us about our ability to move in a society and not be recognized? Call it white privilege, call it Jewish privilege. I mean, like, what do we have that our Ethiopian brothers and sisters don't have? When I walk in, I can, like, in any white society, I can just sort of meld, right? I'm not noticed. Well, he is disguised. He looks Egyptian to the best of my read. They walk in, but Lauren's saying, but a lot's going on for him. He's hyperventilating. Those are his big brothers. Last time I saw them, they put me in a pit. What's going to be for us? And I buy what you're saying, that he's working through this, but they, up till now, don't recognize him to our knowledge. They just see the highest in command, second to Pharaoh of Egypt. Okay? Let's go farther and let's see what David.
It happens with Jacob and Esau also.
Give me another sentence.
When Jacob,
Oh, when they had not seen each other, that's right.
but they do recognize each other. But
And I think this is what I'm hearing Lauren say, what you said. People have changed.
Right.
People have evolved. But what that's going to look like, we don't know. But this is a great point from both of you. You know, when we go and see somebody, I haven't seen my brother in X number of years, and I imagine he was exactly the way when I left him last. And the funny part is, I'm not the same, right? I feel like I'm not the same. I wonder why I think he was exactly where I left him before. Or, this is sweet because I was with my kids last week, is that, I look at them and I recognize how much they're changing. But they come home and they think nothing happened for me the last, right? However long it's been. I'm exactly where I was. And what did the comment that they made? They said something, they were moving around the house. And, I don't know if you guys do, but we have a lot of particulars about our house. When you let the dog out that door, you have to make sure to lock that door. We just have things that we do. And they're like, you're always changing the rules. I'm like, and we're like, well, we're just sort of living here, and we notice that we live here, and we're not standing still. But that's what I hear you saying. It was like this great leader, is now the little brother, and his brothers are there, and it's like, what is going to be? And it's not so bad. Let's talk about the word vayigash. I made up a big deal, and I walked over. You guys were still looking down. I walked over to Alex, vayigash. And he approached. Who approached? Judah. And Judah approached him. What can you tell me about vayigash, to approach? Or what questions do you have about it? Well, what's the pshat? What is the simple meaning of and Judah approached him, meaning?
Did he recognize him at that point? Did he see him?
Oh, so it's a great question. I don't think that's what it's suggesting.
He was brave.
What'd you say, Kara?
He was brave.
He was brave. Why Judah? Why was Judah the one sent out?
Judah was the one who said, let's give him to the Egyptians and make him a slave.
Beautiful. It's important to notice this. Like Judah, it feels like Judah's making up in his approach, even unknowingly. There's some kind of healing going on here. Hans, what were you going to say?
That there are different ways to approach somebody.
Tell me more.
You can approach with openness or closeness.
There are different, I have to repeat what you said. I have to remember this. There are different ways to approach someone. I said, tell me more, and you said, you can approach someone with openness, or you can approach someone not open. We know that when you think about yourself. This is very important, Hans. Like, how am I open to you, or am I approaching, in a closed fashion? I'm not really ready, right? Okay, great. Anything else that you want to say about approach? I'm sorry, I'm picking, but I think it's important.
Well, you wanted the peshat at first, and that is that this is a formal court.
There we go. That's where we start. This is formal.
Oh.
It's really interesting that his name is not used. But the last name that we know of Joseph is the name that that Pharaoh gave him. And I spoke about this name last night in my teaching. His name is not even Joseph, guys, at this moment. His name, which is quite intense, his name, and I never remember his name because it's actually Arabic, but I'm going to just go back and get it. His name is, sorry, give me 1 second. I should be able to just tell you what his name is. Oh gosh, I can look at my notes and I'll find it instead of trying to look in the Torah. His name is Tzafnat Paneach. Tzafnat paneach. So it's hard for me because it's not Hebrew. But it is what it means. Rashi and Rashbam interpret this: he who explains what is hidden. Safnat paneach. Hands?
Is that the name that Pharaoh gave him?
Yes. So it's really interesting. Pharaoh names him as part of elevating him in the court. Pharaoh, it titles him. You're going to be the ruler, second to me. Here is your official name, the way we name a baby, that we send the baby out into life. Now he's like emerging in his new personhood as the Egyptian ruler. We know he's the Jewish brother,
Right.
but he's living as the Egyptian ruler. Dave is right. They're approaching, and I'm going to go into this word in a moment. Why are they approaching him?
In need.
They're in need. They're desperate. They need his help. They're asking for a favor. So it's interesting, Lauren, that you pick up that he might be nervous. They're pretty nervous.
Right.
So now when we go to Vayigash, now I'm understanding what Lauren said. They're coming closer together. I think of it as thawing, right? So maybe, Hans, there are different ways to approach people, but then when maybe I had all these ideas, oh my gosh, her voice is so beautiful, how can I stand next to her? I mean, my voice is going to sound like my voice. And then as you get more, as you stay open and you get to know, you're like, oh my gosh. Like I always love to tell Alex, when I sing with Alex, I always think I have a good voice. It's like, yeah. And then I sing alone, and I'm like, ooh, whose voice is that? My voice is the one that sings with Alex. It does it, Oh, it's not actually difficult. It is really possible. I had these expectations. He was like this, or she was like that, and then I approach, and I'm like, oh, they're actually really, there's a place for me.
And I think that's interesting because there's something in that about approaching with expectation.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the expectation? And that's, again, I have to go back because I was confused by what Lauren said because I was hearing something, but all of this leads to that. There's a lot of expectation. They had expectation. What if he just kicks us out on our tuchuses and doesn't give us what we need? We're desperate, Sheldon said, right? And he has expectations that Lauren's reminding us. He does recognize them. And he's testing, whoever said that. There's a lot of testing going on. He wants to see if they're going to, own up to a deception, if they're going to be honest. He is testing, and there is a thawing. But what I wanted to say to you is Vayigash says to us, something's emerging. We are getting closer. A relationship is getting closer. Something's happening. I am struggling with Joseph, Safnat Paneach, who is totally immersed, assimilated, disguised in his Egyptian getup, in his Egyptian power. And there is the brother, the Jew. There is Yosef, the patriarch, who is also in this person. When Rashi and Rashbam say he who explains what is hidden, my take on this is he's going to be explaining to them in this portion, I am Joseph, I'm your brother. He's going to be explaining to himself, Lauren, I am Joseph, the Jew. Owning that identity through this journey. Dave, you wanted to say something.
Well, at this point, no, go on.
Well, so the people who are nervous, Lauren, and this is again why I was confused by you. Look at the end of this. Vayigash elav Yehuda. I think that Vicky's point is good. Yehuda takes the lead. There's some healing going on. And he says, Yidaber na avdecha. If you please, may I speak with you a word, davar, a word be'oznei Adonai. Now I'm going to bug Alex and watch. Can I speak to you a word in your ear? Oh, Alex, it's not like Alex did, are we set up and ready to rock and roll, but rather, Alex, are we set up and ready to rock and roll? So now, be'oznei, he's speaking in the ear of.
It feels different, for the record. It feels very different.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
But what feels different about it? You guys watched it. What's different?
One's intimate.
So intimate. Now, Vayigash. We began with the formal. That's the pshat. The second is something's changing. They're thawing. It wasn't as bad as he thought last time. They're testing each other. Someone said that. It was a good point. But now, listen to the words. Not just the approach, but he speaks. Can I speak in your ear? He doesn't just say, can I ask you? Can I speak in your ear? Yehuda is coming to him and saying, can we be intimate? Now, here's the thing. Does Judah know who he is? I mean, how much chutzpah to go and speak in somebody's ear?
Maybe it looks like his father, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Like family
maybe there's something that they recognize.
mannerism.
Wait, what were you going to say?
I disagree. I think at this point, he doesn't recognize him, but he's now in a position where he realizes he has to do something. And I think what he's going to do is sacrifice himself so that Benjamin will wind up being free. And I think
Judah, yeah.
Judah is the
So
one
what
who's
you're
going to.
experiencing in this, Dave, and then we go to Hans, is not so much that Judah recognizes him as I'm not sure I believe it, but I find it so bold. And what Dave says, the boldness is Judah's like, okay, I'm not only transforming, I'm not only changing, but boy, oh boy, do I need to take care of my family and my little brother and my father. And even if I'm going to put myself on the line now to do it. Hands?
I think that it's possible to not consciously recognize.
Agreed.
It's just so hard to believe that there's not something familiar about this person that's their brother.
Hans says, I think it's possible to not consciously recognize. Maybe something was stirring, even if they were not aware of it. I think that's a really important and at least a question to bring up, David, and then our chazanit.
Well, Joseph is asking her leading questions. Is my father
Interesting.
still alive?
He doesn't say, is my father still alive yet. He doesn't say my.
He's not going to say our father.
No, is your, he says, your youngest brother. He doesn't speak in personal. Maybe he's asking that question to himself, you're saying? That's not what it says in the text.
No, all right, so either way, he's asking leading questions.
He's asking, like, why would he be asking us these questions? Agreed, David. Chazanit.
I was agreeing with Hans that, like, at the end of the day, we're animals, and we can sense our physical brothers or sisters, or I just think it's something that we can sense, just like someone, like an animal, could sense somebody who is from their family.
So we're going to, yes, Hans.
So that Joseph's approach could be informed by that feeling, and that they're already in a vulnerable
I love it.
place.
Something's you guys are, I love what you're saying. What you guys are piecing together is, don't just read the text. It's actually happening. There is some level, even if it's not conscious, of recognition. Perhaps you're right, the questions are really leading. Like, why would you ask? Hayim yesh lachem av or ach? oh, by the way, I'm the viceroy, and I want to know, do you have a brother or a father? Although the rabbis say that maybe he wasn't so clear that these were the brother. Oh, he wanted to check the welfare of them, is what they're saying. Like, he wanted to know if they're alive, but yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't make sense what I was just saying to myself.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when he said, do you have a father or a brother, was he talking about himself as the missing brother, or was he talking about Benjamin, who he wouldn't have even known about?
So I just have to let your question stand, because your question is beautiful. Is he talking about your father and Benjamin? That's the pshat. But what the remez is, he's asking about himself. Yeah. He wants to know what they're going to say about him. And, it's very moving for me. Like, do you care about what happened to me, right? Are you going to own? And this word comes up in 42:19. Look at 19. And he says, what did I want to say? 42? Yeah, go.
42.
No, I mean, I think I'm going back to Miketz for a minute. 42:19. 40. I'm pretty sure. Give me 1 second. He says to them in 42:19, im kenim. Kenim means truthful. Im kenim itam. If you're going to be truthful, right? If you are truthful people, let one of your brothers be imprisoned in your place. So whoever was identifying the testing, I'm agreeing with this. And this is also the implicit layered on the questions about the honesty. Do you own what you did with me? Do you care how I, your brother, am? Although on face value, Vicky, he wants to know about the welfare of his little brother.
But how does he know he has a little brother?
Oh, no, because his little brother was born before he...
Okay, I wasn't clear about that.
Yeah, the little brother was it was such a generational difference. So there were the older brothers, and then there was Benjamin, and then there was the baby, and the father sent him out. Okay, I want you guys to, before we go on, I want you to look at the end of 18. Ki kamocha kefaro. Ki kamocha kefaro. When you hear ki kamocha, what do you hear? That's right. It's very beautiful. Ki kamocha, we hear mi kamocha, and we're thinking, just setting the stage, we're thinking, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai. We're hearing God. And so Judah is really laying it on here. If Lauren or whoever was saying this other than Dave, if he actually does recognize him, then he's really laying it on thick now. You, kikamocha, you are like Paro, which is both, I understand it, but it also makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable because I feel like in this whole thing, Joseph has lost himself. Joseph has lost himself as the Jew, as what it feels like to struggle, what it feels like to be desperate. And if we want to go to Jewish law, when someone asks you for help, you don't give them tests. You don't check in if they're honest. We know this from Maimonides. You give to them, and even if they didn't need it, you give because you would never take the chance of not responding to someone when they need by trying to suss out if somebody actually needs. You guys, are you following what I'm saying on the laws of tzedakah?
But this was so early in their conversation. It was, we're approaching you, ki kamocha kefaro, because you're the closest thing to Pharaoh we're going to get to, and we need help. So it's sort of at the beginning of that conversation that they're setting the stage to have the conversation. I don't think it's at the point yet where who is like to you, and Joseph isn't, and it's not like the relationship with his Jewishness is lost, and he's himself, he's married, he traveled around, he's established a position for himself, and yet his Jewish roots are nowhere because he hasn't had any models. He grew up without Judaism, he grew up without a family, he didn't have a father. Pharaoh was his father, and the Egyptian ways were her father. The family he married into was his family of origin at this point.
Absolutely. So, but it's early for Joseph.
Very early.
For them, it's not so early. This is already their second meeting with him. Like, let's just put this in perspective. I mean, it feels like it's the beginning, but it's not. They already left once, and now they're back, right? And, okay, I hear you.
They didn't get what they wanted the first time, so they're coming back and sort of greasing the wheel a little bit more. Ki chamocha, because you are so great, because you are the closest thing to power we're ever going to get to, and here we are, we're asking, we need help.
Right. And so Judah's making his case. They are building a case, and at this moment, so Sheldon's telling us it's still early, and there's these very leading questions that David tells us. Do you have a brother? Is he, and they answer, yes, of 22, the youth cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father, he will die. But you said to your servants, if your youngest brother does not come down with you, you shall not see my face again. And it's going on, okay? And let's look at 30 for a minute. In 44:30, and now, if I come to your servants, ve'ata ki vo'i el avdecha avi, ve'hana'ar einenu, and the boy is not with us. So this is a repetition. This is where Vicky's, Dave, do you want to?
I was going to say, this is all now in the past tense, because they had come and gotten food, grain, and Joseph had the cup hidden in Benjamin's knapsack.
Not in Benjamin's.
This all preceded this.
Not in Benjamin's. He doesn't
Wasn't
hide.
it? I thought it was Benjamin. But anyhow, he brings them all back.
It isn't Benjamin.
And
It isn't Benjamin?
That's where this approach is.
Okay.
It's all.
Okay. So what I was going to say, V'hana'ar einenu, is the repetition of when the boys go back to their father. V'hana'ar einenu, and the youth was not with him. So Vicky's question of which youth are we talking about, right? He repeats the hardship of what happened to him with his father, with Benjamin, with his father. And we hear, V'nafsho kshura b'nafsho. V'nafsho kshura b'nafsho, and his soul is bound with his soul. The father's soul is bound with his soul. These are such life and death phrases in Judaism that it's hard to read that and not feel like sit up and pay attention. The very existence of their father is at stake, right? And let's just bring ourselves to the end at 44:33. Now, therefore, please let your servant remain instead of the youth as a servant to my Lord. And let the youth go up with his brothers. For how can I go up to my father if the youth is not with me, lest I see the evil that will befall my father? Okay, so here we are at 45 now. Velo yachol Yosef lehit apek. L'chol hanitzavim alav. Vayikra. Hotziu kol ish me'alai velo amad ish ito. V'hitvada Yosef el Echav. So listen to this. V'lo yuchal, lo yachol Yosef litapek. Joseph could not litapek means he couldn't hold it in anymore. It's like the opposite of an explosion. He couldn't keep it down. He couldn't keep it in. V'lo yachol Yosef litapek. It is a physical impossibility. It's not here anymore. It's not in his head. He can't keep it in any longer. L'chol hanitzavim alav, nitzav, in the presence of everybody that stood before him. Vayikra, and he calls out, Hotziu kol ish me'alai, take out everybody from in front of me, from my presence. V'lo amad ish, Hotziu kol ish, v'lo amad ish, ito, bitvada Yosef el echav. And Joseph made himself known to his brothers. So, first of all, any thoughts about ish that gets repeated?
What does that mean, forward?
Ish means man. Ish.
Well, everyone who wasn't his brothers, like everybody but family, get out of here because this is my moment with my brothers.
This is okay, everyone who's not my brother, any man, any person, any man who's not my brothers. Yeah, where else did we see ish, Sheldon?
Oh, with Rebecca.
We did, Anashim we did, you're right, but let's just with Joseph. Or not with Joseph, I should have said with Jacob. With Joseph's father. Where do we see, who was the ish? We see the ish twice. He struggles with an ish.
The angel.
With a man. So this repetition of ish on the pshat is absolutely, anyone that's not my brother, get out of here now. And he yells. It's very personal and guttural. He can't hold it in. Get out if you're not my brother. Sorry?
And you can hear it out throughout the palace or something. Like
His
you can hear it
cries.
yelling.
They heard him yell, but actually there's something else happening here, with hands brought us to, which is we're going to be changed now. Israel is going to be changed now.
Okay.
Jacob struggles with himself and he becomes Israel. Right? Mm-hmm. He struggles and he's changed. This is where you guys started me. And now Joseph, the ish, tells me, Sheldon, not just anybody who's not my brother, but yes, it does tell me that. But now it tells me, ish, now I, Joseph, have struggled with my own identity. Now I, Joseph, am returning to my own sense of Yisrael, to my own sense of my Judaism, to what I'm called to be. And now suddenly the court is turned upside down. His people, meaning the Egyptians, are cleared out. And the ones that remain are his brothers. This is big. Because now he's standing, really the approach has come into full actualization. And now they're standing really face to face. And Joseph then says in 4, Kshuna elai vayigashu. Kshuna. I want you to pay attention to the na for a minute. What does na mean? Kshu means come close, like from the same root as vayigash. Kshuna elai vayigashu. And they came forward. What does na mean?
Please.
Please. And where did we just hear it? When the brothers were saying to him, please, please. Sheldon said they were desperate. Dave said there's this formality. They're approaching him. If you would, please, can I speak in your ear, please? That's how Judah's speaking to him. Now, the tables turn. Now Joseph is, whenever we hear the na, lech na, mi artzcha, mi moladetcha, or it's lech lecha. Kach na, sorry, Abraham. Take if you will. It's a commanding voice, but it is if you're going to do it. God says to Abraham, take now, if you please. Kach na. Take now, if you please, your son. Well, I don't please, but I choose to do it now. The request is on the other hand. It's not Judah asking the viceroy for supplies. It's Joseph asking, brothers, would you come close to me? And they approached. Yes?
Well, I think Joseph removes any doubt that he might have that as his brother, because he starts speaking to them in Hebrew.
That's your read of it. It doesn't, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful read. It's a beautiful way to think about it. I love it. I love it.
Rabbi,
Yes.
I keep feeling like he had all these tests and doubts, and suddenly when his heart broke open, like all those disappeared, and he became one with his brother. He was a Jew. He remembered all his love for his brothers, for his father. You know, I mean, it was a beautiful moment.
I think, I love what you're saying again. Something shifts in him, and I'm going to say to you, and this was my point for today, he comes home. He comes home to his own identity, to his own values, to his own story, to his own history. And this is the beginning of his ability, his real ability, to take his role in Israel. Up until now, he's proved himself as an insightful person, as a successful person, as a wise person, as a strategic person, as a methodical person, as a person who can be trusted, as a person who has resilience. But this breaking open, as Vicky is describing so beautifully, is the beginning of his ability to be the leader of the Jewish people, the beginning of his ability to lean into and own his own Jewish identity. So I think what I want to leave you guys with is this sort of question, which is, many of us have the ability to be successful in many of the things that we do. Whatever it is, fill in the blank for yourself. Whatever it is that you do successfully in the world, right? How do we step up to inhabiting our Jewish identity in the world that we are going to inhabit? We are trained and taught to sort of hold our two identities. I go to work, I do my thing, I have my family, as Sheldon said, I have my wife, I have my children, and then I go to my Jewish text. I go to my synagogue, I go to my prayer. And that's not the way we're taught. This is Judaism. That I carry my Jewish identity in my family, in my work, in my relationships, in my choices. And they are one. That's what I see with Joseph at that moment. That's the breaking open. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys. All right. So just a moment to look at our announcements and to say that next week in our new secular year, 2023, all of our classes are as scheduled, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday. Thursday morning this week and next week are drop-in Chai with the rabbi at 8:45 on Thursdays. Next Friday is our first Friday of the month. There will be child's care activity during services, and the teaching will be in story form on Friday night. No school for our JLA tomorrow on Sunday, but yes, back to school January 8th. January 14th is the installation of the new board members. That's a nice thing to keep in mind on that Shabbos. It'd be nice if we were packed. We'll be in the main sanctuary. Everybody should want to speak with their board members, make sure that you celebrate their willingness to step up to these important responsibilities, but also know who your board members are, know the decisions that are being made in your community. Saturday, January 21st at 9 a.m. is Tat Shabbat, and hold in your calendars Sunday, February 5th for our Tu B'Shvat Seder. Those are the highlights. Everything can be seen on the website, and just a wonderful direction to say that all of our ongoing Tikkun Olam projects, we trying to say that during the darkest time of the year, December and the beginning of January, let's make sure that you are participating in at least one of our many Tikkun Olam projects. And then finally, thank you to everyone who participated in the 25th, the Sunday, the 25th feast, where we provided for families in our neighbors who are food insecure on their holiday. If there's anybody who feels that they've got a little brawn in them immediately following services, Sue Mermelstein, and I think that was her daughter, Michaela, are here. They need a little bit of help carrying the supplies that weren't used. It was very cold, so not as many people came out as we thought, and we're going to put that down in the, they're already doing it. So if anyone can help afterwards, I'll be staying to help, and if you can help, that'd be great. Great. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to share. Let's turn together to the Aleinu on page 587. As you are able, we stand together. V'shabeach l'Adon ha'kol, l'tei gdula liyotzeh b'reshit, shehu sam Elokeinu liyached et shemo, v'go aleinu lamlich malchuto. V'anachnu korin umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu. Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. 595. Yesh kochavim she'oram magia arza. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that shine up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. Heim heim shemarim la'adam et haderech. As we live our lives, these are the ways that we remember. For those who are in their year of grief, their Shana, know that we are with you. And these loved ones whose yard sites are being observed in this time, Albert Cohen, Samuel Cohen, Fanny Davis, Marion Durkin, Regina Iwukite, Chava Mibeit, Baruch Aaron Vasara, Vicky Felder's mother, Shlomo Stephen Gutterman, Jen Gutterman's husband, Harry Jacobs, Lois Kaplan, Nancy Levy, Rick Levy's mother, Tatung Lin, Lillian Lin's father, Telma Mandel, Abraham Moore, Susan Ovadio, Michael Corvin's aunt, Morris Rosenstein, Deb Kalish's father, Monroe Schlesinger, George Silver, Harvey Silver's father, Benjamin Silverman, Max Weinberg, Joy Weinberg's father, Isaac Weiner, Michael Williams, Hilda Zadokow, Lori May's grandmother, Zichronam Levracha, for them and for the people of every race and nation who live their lives as a blessing to humanity, we affirm what is sacred, what is good, what is holy. Blessings of memory, 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam
ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach
Yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dekudesha barichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. So we are going to close with a note of hope, 643. 643, the wrong word came out. Oh, diavo, shalom, aleinu. Actually, I don't see it on that page. It's not there. Hold on. 657 looks much better to me. Try that. 657.
Oh, diavo, shalom aleinu. Oh, diavo, shalom aleinu. Oh, Javo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Oh, Javo shalom aleinu. Oh, Javo shalom aleinu. Oh, Javo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, shalom, salam, aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam, shalom. Oh, Javo shalom aleinu, oh, Javo shalom aleinu, oh, Javo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael
Et
ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו
בני ישראל
את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת
וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
דברי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. אמן. לחיים.
שבת שלום.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם
המוציא
לחם מן הארץ.
Amen. And Ellen Kala, beautiful Shabbat Shalom.
שבת שלום, ישר כוחך.